The Delhi Files, the Bengal chapter.
Correct.
So tell me a little bit about it.
So we just wrapped Delhi Files. It's directed by Vivek Agnihotri sir, who's a brilliant director.
Totally agree.
And that's a huge ensemble cast. There is me, my dad, Pallavi Joshi, Anupam Kher, Simrit Kaur, Eklavya Sood, Priyanshu Chatterjee, Divyantu Bhattacharya. It's a huge ensemble cast. Shashwata Chatterjee, my bhabhi also is in the film. If you look at any avenue, look at action, comedy, dance, emotional scenes, anything, I don't think Govinda jaisa complete actor hai duniya mein. Coming to Shah Rukh Khan, I think Shah Rukh Khan epitomized romance for the generation that I come from. I mean, today in the time of social media, you have to make films that please to everyone, which is impossible. A film like Animal instigates so many people and people react to it as if it's this and that. But then when you have Labata Ladies, which is about feminism, when you have films like that, nobody shows up.
What is there on the cards from here on?
This year is a bit packed, fortunately, touch wood. So there is Ghost coming up, which is directed by me. There is Delhi Files with Vivek sir. And there is another feature film that I'm doing as a lead called Virat. The audience is the nicest people in the world when they like your film. If they don't like your film, God save you. If you look at the history of films, Sholay has worked. Disco Dancer has worked. हम आपके हैं कौन, दिलवाले दुल्हनिया ले जाएंगे, टू अब बजरंगी भाईजान, लगान, रंग दे बसंती, हर जॉनर में पिक्चर ब्लॉकबस्टर होती है. बट
Namaskaram. Welcome to Who's on Air with myself, Kamlksh Shetty. So get ready for an exciting conversation with Namashi Chakraborty. I would say lights, camera and action. He is the talented son of Mithun Chakraborty ji, Dada, and somebody whom I adore so much. Namashi is a newcomer to the industry, but he's already making waves with his passion and dedication. We'll be discussing this debut film, working with his dad, and what's next for him in the world of entertainment. I'm going to explore an entire journey with him. Let's look forward to it. Namashi, looking forward. Namaskaram. We have Namashi Chakraborty with us here. And what a name, because I love it from my heart. Namashi, welcome to the show. And it's such a pleasure to have you on the show.
thank you, brother. It's my honor.
And to start with, being a son of a legend, Mithunda, what has influenced your approach to whatever you do in life? You are a director, you are an actor, you are making your film also as a director. So what are all the aspects which has added through your journey in life?
Honestly, being from a film family, you grow up in that environment.
Agreed.
So bachpan se you're born in an environment of a star. My mom also was a
Yes,
very
yeah.
famous actress in her
Yes.
time. My brother's an actor, my bhabhi is an actor, my other siblings are also in films. तो माहौल वही था घर में, तो उसी को सीख कर उसी को अडेप्ट किया है. तो दैट हैज़ बिन द रीज़न वाई आई थिंक आई लव मूवीज सो मच. बट आई वॉज ऑलवेज इंट्रीग्ड बाय फिल्म मेकिंग. मुझे आई ऑलवेज फाउंड द स्टोरी टेलिंग वर्ल्ड टू बी वेरी फैसिनेटिंग. सो दैट was the primary reason for sure.
So your film Bad Boy, which was directed by Rajkumar ji, which is, he's a legend
Yes.
in himself. Did that add to whatever you're doing right now? And what was the journey? What is that which has kind of, still resonates with you, which is so powerful about working with a director like Raj ji?
Yeah, it was an honor working with a legend like Mr. Rajkumar Santoshi, and I got that film very I would not use the word organically, but it just happened. Matlab, it happened. That film just happened. But more than Rajji, I would like to thank Sajid Qureshi, the producer of the film. He was the one who saw my pictures and he wanted to launch me. At that point, I was struggling to get launched. Nobody was showing any interest. So when Sajid bhai came aboard और उन्होंने कहा मुझे तुम्हारे साथ film बनानी है.
अच्छा.
It was a remake. It was a Telugu remake. So I said, of course, I would love to work with you. And then after a week, Rajji came on board as a director.
Okay.
And then things just started happening.
So this comes to my point कि nepotism ये word use होता है और आपने बोला कि आपको भी struggle करना पड़ा with Mithun da being there. आपको भी you had to go out and look for a movie.
Yeah, because you see, my father is a self-made actor. I don't come from a lineage of actors. You know, my father was the first actor in his entire bloodline.
Yes.
And also my father is self-made. Like my father was not a quintessential Bollywood star. You know, he started off with an art film, then he became a star, then he became a superstar, and then he started doing low budget action films. So in this industry, honestly, when you don't have a godfather, you have to build yourself. You know, so my father, just like my father is, the journey's been the same for us, because we don't really, as I told you, I was not even raised in Bombay.
Yes.
Raised in Ooty. तो हम डिसकनेक्टेड थे मुंबई की फिल्म इंडस्ट्री से. तो जब हम आए तो things had changed, and my father is not the person who will call anyone up and say launch my son. That's never gonna happen. You know, he will never, he would never do that. So we knew कि ऐसे काम तो ऐसे तो मिलने वाला है ही नहीं, मेरिट पे ही मिलेगा. So मुश्किल इसलिए आई because we don't really associate, like I don't have my friends from Bollywood. My best friends are not Bollywood actors.
Okay.
That's not because I don't like them or anything like that, but I've had a very different upbringing.
Your childhood was very different.
Very different.
So
Very
you're
different.
schooling in Ooty
And Coimbatore.
and Coimbatore both. So I see you as a very different. I won't use the star kid for you because you don't have that thing. I mean, when you came in, also I felt like somebody who's so open and friendly. I mean, honestly, Namashi, I would. I look at this as such a joy talking to you right now.
Same here, bro.
As a debutant, what were your biggest challenges and how do actually people look at you right now? Because I think you just started a journey, if I would say.
So I think, you know, I can say this very honestly. You know, Bad Boy did not do well at the box office. And Bad Boy got delayed in the pandemic. The film was completed in 2021, but it released in 2023. And once COVID ended, the film industry, Hindi film industry has gone through a very rough patch. तो फिल्में अब ज़्यादा चलती हैं नहीं. And another minus point for us was that we released a week after किसी का भाई किसी की जान, which was the Salman भाई film. तो हम जब रिलीज हमारी फिल्म आई तो हमें उतने स्क्रीन्स मिले नहीं.
अच्छा.
So it was a very limited release. Anil Thadani was our distributor. So we had a very limited release और वो 2 हफ्ते ही चली थी theaters में. तो it was the Bad Boy was a huge underperformer. The only fortunate part was that most people liked my work in it. My performance was appreciated. And despite the film flopping, I got work on the 4th day of release. So that was a very big aspect. But honestly, I think a lot of people have still not seen my film. You know, तो अभी भी मुझे लगता है कि जब मेरी दूसरी जो फिल्में आएंगी, for a lot of people that is going to be my introduction. This is what I feel. क्योंकि वो कहीं ना कहीं that in that flow of films, no, वो थोड़ा सा सहम गई पिक्चर.
So agreed. I sitting with you. You have seen a failure of another kind, I would say, because this came at a time when probably movies were not happening. The lockdown kind of put it down. Your new launches are something which we look forward to. But I have a question before that is,
Yes.
Mithun da said that he probably won't launch you. Like coming from such a legend family, do you think his approach was something which was needed for you to do what you're doing right now?
Well, you know, honestly, we all four, we are a family of 4 siblings. We are a family of 7 now, with my bhabhi included. My mom and my dad never raised us in a way that, you know, you're supposed to have everything on a platter. We don't look at life कि यार just because you're wealthy you can do whatever you want. And if you don't push yourself, you're never going to get anywhere in life. तो हमें ये concept ही नहीं था launch करेंगे या हमारे लिए पिक्चर बनेगी. एंड फॉर्चुनेटली हम सबको काम मिल गया था ऑन आवर मेरिट. मुझे थोड़ा लेट मिला बिकॉज बिफोर बैड बॉय आई वाज साइंड बाय अ वेरी बिग डायरेक्टर.
Is it?
यस, एंड दैट फिल्म नेवर टुक ऑफ.
Okay.
वो फिल्म बनी नहीं. वो फिल्म इवेंचुअली किसी और स्टार किड के साथ बनी. एंड फॉर्चुनेटली वो फिल्म अच्छा हुआ मैंने नहीं की.
Everything happens.
We'll not name the film, but yeah, so that had happened. So delays बहुत आ रहे थे बीच में.
अच्छा.
But then Bad Boy happened, and yeah, but there was no question of why is he not launching me, because there was no question that he will launch me.
Wow. So again, coming to being Mitunda's son, there are a lot of things. See, he's known in the industry as somebody who's extremely genuine in whatever he says and does. I remember I heard one of his speech during when he got the national award. I think he's probably one actor from Bollywood who got the maximum national awards.
Yes,
So
one of the highest.
his speech did touch me, and that kind of you being under the shadow of such a being, I would say, has made you what you are today.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something very interesting. When my father did a cameo in Bad Boy,
Uh-huh.
there is a song called Janabe Ali by Himesh Reshammiya. It's a superb song. He did a cameo. He came on set and we danced together. You know, when we both were dancing, हमने monitor में जाके देखा. And Rajji said, दादा जितने आप स्क्रीन पे दिख रहे हो उतना ही नमोशी दिख रहा
क्या बात है?
है. Which is to say that if you're talented ना,
Yeah.
you will make your mark. And if you work hard, you'll make your mark. But if you don't have any personality, you have no conviction, you will always be under the shadow of someone else. Look at Sunny Deol today. He at 68, he's doing, I mean, he's Dharmendra's son, the biggest superstar of his time. But he became an individual. तो talent जिसमें होता है ना, वो उस shadow से हट सकता है.
Individual जो बात है, it is when you're indivisible. You can't be somebody else, no matter they are from the same bloodline, and that's what has kind of puts you a little different, which is where I'll come to the question. You're directing a movie.
Yes, I have just turned director. I'm making my directorial debut. It's in a film called Ghost. That's the tentative title. We have just wrapped shooting. So I'm very excited about that.
कुछ बातें उसके बारे में बताओगे?
It is a romantic drama.
हाँ.
कहानी है एक stand-up comedian की from Mumbai
Okay.
who travels to Los Angeles and वहाँ पे he meets a woman जो a very mysterious character and how then his life takes a turn. So it's a very intense romantic film.
What I know of is you scripted the movie along also, right? I mean,
I have written the film along with my co-writer Swapnil Raje. He's a brilliant writer.
sounds very interesting of what you're doing. You're in that part, you're in front of the camera and behind the camera
Yes,
also,
yes,
and you're managing it superbly.
I mean, that you guys will tell me, but I've tried my best.
Acha. So, would you call yourself a learner?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, did you learn filmmaking from somewhere, or
I assisted Mr. V.K. Prakash, the Malayalam film
legendary?
director, the legendary filmmaker. He's a national award winner.
Okay.
So I assisted him on a film called Ishke Daria, very old film. My brother was the lead actor.
Okay.
And Evelyn, and we shot this film in 2014. And we shot about 23 days in Georgia. So that was my only film I assisted in.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you took a lot along with it. Learning happened from there.
I learned everything from there.
Okay.
And believe it or not, bro, that film had 60 scenes and 5 songs. And we finished that film in abroad in 23 days.
And that's a very, it's a different task.
It was a huge task. And we did not have one single shot of patchwork when we came back.
Oh, that's great. That means a lot of pre-work would have gone into doing
Pre-work, and we used to shoot 12 hours a day. And we barely got breaks. It was an indie film. It was a small film. But I learned everything. How to make a movie at your pace, at the producer's pace, in 23 days.
So coming to you as a personality, you used to love Govinda's songs.
I still do.
And we'll see if we can get the clips of you dancing on some songs differently other than what you do in the films. And I think Shah Rukh was another inspiration.
Yeah, I love
dancing.
Shah Rukh.
So what do you take from them, from Govinda ji and Shah Rukh Khan?
You know, when I look back at my childhood, I was born in the 90s. Okay. So when I was growing up, Govinda and Shah Rukh Khan were the reigning stars. Govinda peaked in the 90s and Shah Rukh still is the biggest star. I was instantly fascinated by the both of them. I don't think there is any actor in the world who is as flawless as Govinda. If you look at any avenue, look at action, comedy, dance, emotional scenes, anything, I don't think Govinda jaisa complete actor hai duniya mein. Because, I'll tell you one thing very strange, and this is a quote. I am very awkward when I dance.
I mean, you feel awkward?
I feel very awkward. Jabki people
but you dance well, so awkward kahan se
Thank you. But people say, yaar, your dad is disco dancer. But dancing in a film is very difficult than dancing in a party.
Okay.
Because you know this.
Yes.
I mean, you've been such a great dancer. you have to have the timing right, you have to get the beats right, you have to have your own style, you have to be perfect. Govinda is faultless in any dance he does. जो
Okay.
finesse है.
Huh.
And in fact, my father is a fan of Govinda.
Oh, is it?
Yes, even though he is much senior, he told me कि यार देखना है तो गोविंदा की पिक्चर है देखो. And I love Chichi Bhaiya. Coming to Shah Rukh Khan, I think Shah Rukh Khan epitomized romance for the generation that I come from. And the intensity that he brought in his films. And also you have to realize, bro, that they are also like my dad. They come from no privileged backgrounds.
Yes, I think all three names. Yes.
And you know, that is the time where Bollywood used to Bollywood has forgotten to give work to outsiders.
I totally agree with you.
You know, we now look at people with names and background and ye kiska dost hai. That's why we don't have superstars anymore. But back then, you had anyone who had talent who could make it. You know, today if a Mithun Chakraborty comes from Bengal, I don't think Bollywood will be that excited to launch him or give him so many chances.
I think the time
Today-
was right.
Today, people don't believe in outsiders. Everything's become about your name. So we don't look for talent, we look for surnames. That is the problem. That's where we are going wrong.
So I look at you in a way where I think the way you are molded is very different. And right now your filmography includes working with your father in
Yeah.
Delhi Files,
The Delhi Files.
the Delhi Files, the Bengal chapter.
Correct.
So tell me a little bit about it.
So we just wrapped Delhi Files. It's directed by Vivek Agnihotri sir, who's a brilliant director.
Totally agree.
And that's a huge ensemble cast. There is me, my dad, Pallavi Joshi, Anupam Kher, Simrit Kaur, Eklavya Sood, Priyanshu Chatterjee, Divyantu Bhattacharya. It's a huge ensemble cast. Shashwata Chatterjee, my bhabhi also is in the film.
Okay.
Madalsa Sharma is also in the Chakraborty. But I can't speak much about it right now because the film is still 4 months away from release. But yeah, that's going to release on 15th August this year.
Okay. And this is where
In the files.
in the
Kashmir
files
files,
section,
Kashmir
file-
files,
yeah.
and now Delhi files.
and intense. Matlab, it touches you so much, you know. And I definitely, I mean, something which I would look forward to look at, and everybody should. 15th August is the time.
Yeah.
Perfect date to release something which would be intense to the core.
Absolutely.
So, as a director, I'll come back to you as an actor later. What is it that takes an actor to look at it on? See, I mean, I'm into yoga also. So there is a thing in yoga where you have to always look at yourself. If you're sitting in meditation, the thing is that you look at yourself. So as a director, you look at yourself also playing, essaying the role, being the character. For somebody who's not into this space, it's very different and difficult, I feel. What takes charge of you in that point?
You know, I think the reason why I'm making Ghost, like I've just directed this film, is because I always felt directors are also actors, directors are editors. You know, the director is not as simple as it sounds. He just doesn't say action and cut. So I liked the aspect of getting people together to tell a story. And I've been very fortunate that my film has such a huge cast. There is, besides, you know, I'm the lead in the film, but there is my father in the film. My brother is in the film. There is Tigmanshu Dhulia in the film. There is Anand Narayan Mahadevan in the film. There is Johnny Liver in the film. There is Priyanshu Chatterjee in the film. So I have had a huge ensemble cast in this film. And they all came on my conviction. They did not say ki yaar, you know, this is the best script I've heard. Nothing. They just came on my conviction. They saw an indie filmmaker trying to make a film in a very limited budget. And they all have come and supported me.
Given today's time, no, Bollywood movies have come down. There something is missing. I don't want you to comment it in that way, but what do you think has to be set right somewhere? Because South movies have taken the lead in, like people.
You know, it is very strange that you say they have taken over now. If you go back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, okay, most of the Bollywood hits were South remakes.
I agree with you.
You know, most of Govinda, Jitendra, or my dad's films were all South remakes, all those blockbusters. So Bollywood was always dependent on the South to make super hit films. Now it's more pronounced because now those films are on TV. Those films come on our streaming platforms, they come on theaters. So resurgence hua hai ki those films are working better. But the biggest Hindi hits are remakes.
Mm-hmm.
So now the problem is those remakes are already watched before the Hindi version is made. Like my film Bad Boy is a remake of a Telugu blockbuster, right? So the Telugu version was a super hit,
Okay.
but my film didn't work because I'd already watched the original, which perhaps was better. So today people have the option to watch the original, which is perhaps better. So why will they go and spend so much money and watch a lackluster version of it?
I come to that point. And also, I think social media and OTT has changed the way people look at movies, right?
Yeah, but at the same time, if a film has to work, it'll work. Look at Chhawa.
Yes.
What a film. The kind of business it's done. So a good film will work.
So, as a director, you have to understand the intensity of how movies should be made, how the actor should approach that, isn't that? Because right now you're on the director's seat. ये एक्टर को इस तरह दिखना चाहिए, इस तरह एक्ट करना चाहिए. Are you sitting it across and putting this together to your actors?
No, I think what happens, the problem that is happening now is that the remake version, like I'll tell you a funny story. When my teaser released of Bad Boy, it was a dance number where I'm doing a lot of comedy. And obviously we are all addicted to social media, although I'm not on social media anymore. People just commented, great teaser, but this is that movie's remake. So that Telugu film's remake.
Okay.
So if they can figure it out the moment you release a teaser, that means you can imagine the reach these southern films have even for Hindi speaking audiences. So I was like, that's a very bad sign because they've already figured out which movie this is by a 30-second teaser. And we knew it's a remake. So that is the problem. We are actually copying something which is being done. So individuality अब हिंदी फिल्म में है नहीं. And most films are remakes or we are rehashing the same stories. We are making 2, 3, 4 parts. So the audience has not taken us seriously anymore. They feel a disconnect. See, if a Pushpa 2, which is a dubbed film, can do 700 crores, that means the audiences do love going to theaters. But why don't they come for our films? It's because they don't feel a connection when they see the trailer or when they hear the songs. There is a disconnect.
Who influences you the most as an actor or a director?
As an actor, I think the two names that you took, and of course my father. As a director, I think I am greatly inspired by Rajkumar Hirani.
Okay.
I think he's one filmmaker who could mix social topics with a very commercial sense. If you look at his films like Three Idiots and Munna Bhai, those films had a great satire. It's very impossible to write screenplays like he does.
So those, do they inspire you in your work which you're doing?
Big time. I'm
You
a
take
huge
notes.
fan.
You take notes from that also, and probably want to build.
Yeah.
Do you think there is a way where you feel cinema can be different from here on, from the way things are looking at?
Cinema will always exist. No matter how much people think Bollywood is over, it will never be over. The only thing that Hindi film industry, I don't like using the word Bollywood, lacks is that, as I said, there is no originality and there is and I think also like Animal, for example, right? That film, the kind of business that film did and the kind of following that film has. I mean, 10 years ago from now, Animal would not happen, but it has. And so people are going to go to the theaters. We just have to make compelling films.
You need.
What I think should be corrected is that they should stop making remakes.
Okay.
We should not be so lazy.
As a filmmaker, as a director, as an actor, I think today's time, how do you figure out what triggers people? What makes them see a movie?
The trailer.
The trailer?
If your trailer is exciting, it can be a non-star cast film like Munjia with 2 actors who were not even known, and that did about 100 crores. And then you have big films that don't even collect 30 crores. So the trailer, the way the film looks, that is the magic. You don't need a star today to make a hit film.
So I see you as somebody sitting here. The very few people in this generation who are into acting, direction, scripting. Last what I know is Amir Khan.
Wow.
Last what I know is Amir Khan, and here you are at this generation, lot of scope.
Thank you.
What keeps you inspiring? I mean, I read about his Peter O'Toole as one of your influences.
Yeah, the actor. Yes.
And what makes you work harder on this? Like, I think we need a generation of actors and filmmakers who want to change the way movies looked at?
Well, I think today's like Peter O'Toole you mentioned, he's also one of my all-time favorite actors. He's been a great inspiration. So what a lot of people don't know, and perhaps you also don't know, is that when I was 17, I got my first job as a writer.
Is it?
Yes, and I was a writer for imdb.com for about 9 years.
You were a writer for
imdb.com, which is the biggest
Yeah, of course.
movie website. So I used to review films for them. I used to do articles for them. So I did that for 9 years. So for the age of 17 to 26, I was associated as a writer. So that's when I discovered movies. So I reviewed about 3,000, 2,500 films for them. That's when I discovered these great actors, these classics from various languages. So that was not only a job, but I also think it was my homework for almost a decade.
So this international cinema has also shaped you in certain way,
World
because-
cinema.
So when you're reviewing, you're actually writing down notes, thinking about it, looking at what people think about the movie. You're like a common man on the other side is understanding this, right?
Yeah,
So that has shaped you also in what you're doing right now.
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, coming back to Dad, stories of what makes Namoshi something what you are right now.
Well, honestly, like I mentioned, I was never raised in a way that I felt special. My father doesn't behave like a star, even
Totally
today,
agree, totally
even though
agree.
he's the biggest
Totally
of his
agree.
generation. Very down to earth, humble man, honest man. He's very much not like a Bollywood person. Bollywood people are very fake.
Yeah.
My father is a great exception. My mom, also, for that matter, is a very humble and realistic woman. So the upbringing has been very simple. You know, it's a very honest upbringing. And what sets him apart from others is that he's self-made. And I tell you this again is because, you know, there was a time when I was growing up in the mid 90s where my father's career was sort of declining as a lead. So he started doing these low budget action films in Ooty. He made about 100 of them in Ooty. And the media had termed him as a B grade actor.
I'll just tell you about this. The
Yeah.
B grade was because I think it was happening in the B towns of India. It was not
Maybe.
because of a B grade.
Yeah.
So this is what I have understood in that. So it was because the B C grade. It was very popular because वहाँ के theaters भरे रहते थे watching a dad movie. So you can continue.
Exactly. So you know the media would call him a B grade star, and you know that they would look
Yes,
down
yes,
upon his
yeah.
films. The media in Mumbai.
Yeah.
But the fact is that when you come from a lineage that you create, the fact that he was able to do 100 films living in Ooty is unheard of. The quality of those films might not be extremely great, but he made his own industry. So I don't think in the history of Bollywood or Hindi cinema, any actor has been able to do that. But the media never supported that kind of film. The media has its favorites. So, but that is the one thing that I'm telling you, that his honesty, he never ever.
That has rubbed into you.
I hope so.
Yeah, because how do you see yourself evolving as an actor? What is the kind of work you do? What is the kind of things you do on a daily basis? What does Namoshi do every day?
I think about films, I eat about films, I sleep about films, and I make films. There is no other life that I want. I'm very fortunate to be working in the film industry. For me, movies are my life. So that is my only thing.
So, is there anything on OTT which is right now on the line? On the line, something it's ready or something?
In Hindi, to nothing. I didn't really like anything. I have seen this show on Netflix, Adolescence. Is that how I pronounce it?
Yeah. That's been talked about.
Yeah, I really liked it.
Okay.
It's a very good show.
So you have been into reviewing movies, and so this has shaped into understanding what a movie is. You've been behind the camera. You're in front of the camera. What is there on the cards from here on?
Well, this year is a bit packed, fortunately, touch wood. So there is Ghost coming up, which is directed by me. There is Delhi Files with Vivek sir. And there is another feature film that I'm doing as a lead called Virat
Okay.
with Mahesh and Vikram Bhatt.
Tell me a little bit about Virat.
It's a wildlife action adventure, and Vikram sir is directing it. It's a mind-blowing script. If we are able to achieve what we are setting out to, I think it's going to be a very good film. It's a brilliant script.
You don't want to reveal much about it.
I can't. but it's a fun character, and I think it's going to be a really good film.
When is it
Fingers
expected to release?
November is the estimate, but we still have to be shooting another month.
So are we looking at Ghost also happening this year?
For sure.
Okay. So it's all lined up and there.
Yeah, I mean, so
and
far
you're
so
putting
good.
all your energies and powers into, and we make sure that our love and blessings go into whatever we're doing, because I see
Thank
you as somebody very intense and directly from the heart.
Thank you.
And one last thing, I mean, it's not a last thing, probably I want to ask you also been a part of your dad's hotel business. I think you'll have opened Monarch, that's the brand name which you're
Yes, we have just opened a new hotel in Bengaluru called the Monarch,
Yeah.
a premium grandeur. It's a transit hotel, which is just 20 minutes away from the airport.
okay.
So that's our latest project that we have opened. Yeah.
And you are involved in much into that also with your given schedule.
I definitely do. And we also have a hotel in Uti,
Right,
the
right.
Monarch, from the last 32 years. We have a resort on our below Uti called the Monarch Safari Park, which has existed for 33 years now. So these are the three properties that we own. But I think Dad is more inclined to that world, and me more is.
So dad is a very passionate being. Why I say being? Because his presence has made a lot of difference in the industry. And people who watch him till now also, he's always been a person from the heart, which I see it in you also sitting here. Restaurant was his passion, I suppose, again,
Yeah.
other than movies. And this is how he got into that. And do you see yourself from here on as somebody who's going to change the thought and the idea of movie making?
I really can't say that for myself. The people have to say that. And I don't think any actor today can change anything. At today's times with social media and so much of media, आजकल अच्छी पिक्चर ही बना ली ना is a very big thing, because attention span लोगों का बहुत कम हो गया है.
I'll correct that, correct what I asked you also, because ये ऐसा है कि but when you said the attention span has gone down, people have an attention of 30 seconds. If you can convince them in the first 3 to 4 seconds is when you can probably hit it. And you don't know what will hit it. Sometimes the hit happens after a long time, no? Probably 2 साल भी अरे ये क्या बढ़िया film है. And I heard it from friends who have seen a movie after, and then probably it takes off. So people's attention has changed. So you are learning every day. Today, a person who knows to act, direct, script, personally sitting here, I see you as somebody to look forward to.
Thank you.
Believe me.
Thank
And
you
it's from
so
the
much.
heart.
Thank you so much.
Namashi, thank you so much for coming on the show. Anything would you like to tell the upcoming actors, directors, and something, a line from you?
Just make original content. Don't depend on remakes, because the South doesn't depend on remakes. They make their own films. हम यहाँ मुंबई में रह के हम लोग इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग बहुत हो गए हैं अभी. बॉलीवुड का प्रॉब्लम ये है, हम लोग हॉलीवुड बनना चाहते हैं. लाइक आई वेंट टू अ वेरी बिग फिल्म प्रोडक्शन ऑफिस. यू आई थिंक गॉट द हिंट ऑल्सो. एंड दे ऑल वाज स्पीकिंग इन इंग्लिश, बट बनानी हिंदी पिक्चर है.
ये बात है.
जब जबान अंग्रेजी होगी तो फिर इंग्लिश में ट्रांसलेशन का हिंदी वर्जन बनता है. सो वी शुड रिमेंबर दैट वी आर इंडियंस, वी आर हिंदूज. हिंदी फिल्म इंडस्ट्री है, तो वी नीड टू गेट रिड ऑफ दिस अंग्रेजी हैंगओवर. We should write stories. We should pay writers. We don't pay writers. We pay stars. हमको स्टार को 25-30 करोड़ देने में प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, बट राइटर को पैसे नहीं देने, इन्वेस्ट नहीं करना है. सो दैट इज द बिगेस्ट प्रॉब्लम. इफ यू डोंट इन्वेस्ट ऑन योर स्टोरी, it is not going to work.
You made such an important point, because the guy who makes this up, because then once the moment you pay a writer, probably his imagination work on another level.
Absolutely. He is the reason the movie is made. How will you work without a story?
I'll take this point as a strong point, and people who are listening, writers are the guys who can bring this on. Namashi, I had a question, not a question, my thought था कि सुना था कि Namashi has been a stand-up comic also.
हाँ.
ये कहाँ से था?
I used to be an improv artist, a comic improv artist. We had a school, अभी भी है मुंबई में. It is called Improv Comedy Mumbai.
अच्छा.
So me, my brother, and a lot of budding stand-ups, हम all over Mumbai comedy improv shows करते थे.
Your brother means?
Mimo.
Okay. You also used to do stand-up?
Yeah, we both used to do it. तो हमने वो कुछ 2-2.5 साल किया है. Without script comedy करते थे.
So you just go on stage and just talk?
सजेशन आता था ऑडियंस का,
अच्छा.
लेट्स से टॉक अबाउट इंडिया
Mm-hmm.
पॉलिटिक्स, तो उसके ऊपर हम एक स्किट इम्प्रोवाइज करते थे.
So you used to have a set of actors
सेट
along.
ऑफ एक्टर्स, सो वी ऑल वर लाइक 10-12 एक्टर्स, हमारा ग्रुप था. We used to perform live.
So this was, I think, inspired by one of those English shows where they used to.
Whose line is it anyway?
Whose line is it? So on the same lines, this.
Same, exactly the same lines.
So that also shaped you.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So when you directing, do you help your actors what to do, how to do, or what's the kind of thing which you use with
You
your
know, actors, if you have a good actor on set,
Yeah.
like I directed Johnny Liver. I worked with him on Bad Boy and I also directed him on
Okay.
Ghost. I मैं scene कुछ लिख के गया था, Johnny Boy did something and he did it 10 times better.
Okay.
When your improviser is Johnny Liver, a man who has such a great presence of mind, the director just has to say action. As long as it's in the script, उस दायरे में है, improvise as much as you
So they keep the essence of that thing still alive.
they वो फट से सीन पकड़ लेते हैं.
अच्छा.
They're legends. But improvisation जितना स्क्रिप्ट के हिसाब से चल रहा है, I allow it.
So for a budding actor, this is one skill set you develop. कैसे कर लेते?
Improvisation. Well, वो तो हमको सिखाया है. But आज भी if I tell you brother, मैं आज भी improv करता हूँ तो मैं नर्वस हो जाता हूँ. मैं कैमरा के सामने नर्वस नहीं होता, बट स्टेज पे आज भी नर्वस होता हूँ. आई हैव मेजर स्टेज फ्राइट.
अच्छा, बट कैमरा के सामने नहीं होता?
नहीं, बिकॉज कैमरा में स्क्रिप्ट है, आप सीन पढ़ के आते हो. स्टेज पे यू आर जस्ट गोइंग बाय द फ्लो एंड पीपल आर वेटिंग फॉर यू टू मेक देम लाफ. एज सून एज यू से इट्स अ कॉमेडी शो, वो हंसने आए हैं. एंड इफ दे आर नॉट लाफिंग, योर शो इज अ फ्लॉप. सो वी ऑलवेज यूज्ड टू बी ऑन द एज.
It's a time when people react.
Yes.
The reaction is something which people look for. So for a stand-up, you probably would have been a little careful with what you do because
a lot of our shows used to be recorded, and it's a very controversial time right now. But I used to perform at the Habitat, Khar, which is now sadly going through a rough patch. But we used to perform there live, and many of our shows used to stream on YouTube.
Okay.
But कभी-कभी the audiences would say have such undemanding, मतलब such demanding requests कि इस पे act करो, you know, like politicians and stuff. And we used to go all out. So our shows would not make it to YouTube because we would sometimes improvise so much that could offend people. तो कई बार हमारा show आता ही नहीं था YouTube पे.
Okay. So at least but within you as a performer, you used to draw the line also somewhere.
I used to, but my co-actor wouldn't. How do you, and then you can't leave the act, you have to improvise on thought.
What do you think about it? Is it right or wrong? Is there a right or wrong to something like this?
Definitely. I mean, if you look at the society today, we are talking about right and wrong in everything. Unfortunately, not every person is going to think the same way. But the most important thing is that you have to respect other people's sentiments.
Totally agree with
now
you.
Indian stand-up comedy has become very crass. People insult people. They give माँ बहन की गालीज. I don't think that's funny at all.
I like your thought on this because without abuses, comedy नहीं होती है.
Insult comedy, like even Kapil Sharma, you know, he's a great comic. Like he does so much of fat shaming and he makes fun of women, but he makes it family friendly. You can watch it with your family. It's light-hearted entertainment.
Yeah. So you need to know where to begin and where to kind of put it in the right way.
Kapil knows where to draw the line. That's why people love him all over the world. That's a great stand-up
Which is
comic.
missing. And coming to the numbers which happens with movies right now, today we have come to a time where the numbers matter. कि इतनी करोड़ की फिल्म बनी, इतनी करोड़ की कलेक्शन हुई, एंड द कंटेंट डजंट मैटर फॉर सम पीपल आफ्टर अ व्हाइल. मतलब आपने किस तरह कितनी ब्यूटीफुल फिल्म बनाई, उसका थॉट क्या था, व्हाट वेंट बिहाइंड इट, समवेयर इट सडनली इट्स मोर ऑफ रिएक्शन एज आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट. What do you have to say? What should be the thing which has to be added and which you are also probably incorporating into your movies?
Well, honestly, today there is a very big problem that is plaguing the Hindi film industry, is that there is a culture of corporate booking. There is a block booking phenomena that has plagued Bollywood, is that the producers or the distributors, whoever, वो खुद ही टिकट खरीद के डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करते हैं and they tell people to go watch the film, which is a disgusting practice. Because I'll tell you why it's disgusting is because very recently, I won't name the film, but my friend went to watch this film saying it's houseful, and when he entered the theater, there were 14 people in a 300-seater.
And that was housefull.
And being the social media addict that he is, he put a story up, and a lot of people saw that, and it kind of became viral, as they say. So why are we living in our own bubble? If we only have to buy the ticket, being the producers, we only will tell people to go watch it. So it's such a, you should make the film for home entertainment. Go for streaming. You don't get how many numbers, only the platform gets. But if you're saying a theater is houseful and there is 14 people, you're making the biggest joke of yourself. So there are no box office collections that are, most box office collections are fake now. Most collections are inflated and block booked, and बहुत ही गंदा practice है. But I don't think box office collections means content. You might like something, I might like something, he might like something else. But I mean, today in the time of social media, you have to make films that please to everyone, which is impossible. A film like Animal instigates so many people, and people react to it as if it's this and that. But then when you have Lapata Ladies, which is about feminism, when you have films like that, nobody shows up. So audiences also are willing to watch movies like Animal, and they love those films. And Animal ki koi bhi collection was not corporate booking. Animal is an organic blockbuster. Animal, Gadar 2 are organic blockbusters. The rest are all inflated. So when these two films, without any ghapla, as they say, have done so well, that means the audience wants to see these movies. But politically, कौन सी picture correct है bro? वो तो is a deep issue. उसके ऊपर it's 3-2 also, I believe, is all organic. Yeah.
So do you believe in something called sensible filmmaking also? Because
Amir Khan, that's my answer.
Acha.
Amir Khan is the reason why Hindi cinema has any reputation. I was just in the West recently. मैं Los Angeles में shooting कर रहा था. Ghost की. I also have family there. You will not believe it, bro. मैं जब बैठता हूँ उन गाड़ियों में, जहाँ Uber में या कहीं भी, तो as soon as I say India, they have no collection of Hindi cinema beyond Shahrukh Khan.
अच्छा.
उनको पता ही नहीं आज के एरा में क्या पिक्चर बनती है. They know of my father. Huge fans.
Yeah.
Russians and Armenians. They are the biggest fans of Mithun and Raj Kapoor.
And what was it that went right there?
The Soviet Union, right? Like they had a tie-up with India. So Disco Dancer, Mera Naam Joker, all these films had released and they became the biggest hits. So aaj bhi, you will not believe it, when I sit in an Uber and as soon as I say I'm from India, they automatically say Jimmy Jimmy Aja Aja. This is literally true.
Have you ever told you?
And sometimes I do tell them who I am and they go crazy.
Oh.
But if you tell them who I am, they have no clue who I am. They have no clue who today's actor is. तो हिंदी सिनेमा का रीच ही नहीं है. हम यहाँ का वेस्ट को कैसे देखते हैं ना, वर्ल्ड सिनेमा, वहाँ पे वर्ल्ड सिनेमा कोई हिंदी सिनेमा उनके डेमोग्राफ में भी नहीं है. जब RRR एक फिल्म थी, बिकॉज इट गॉट एन ऑस्कर एंड एवरीथिंग. उसके अलावा तो
you think Namashi, is there a formula for making a movie at this present time? Because there is, if you look at social media, there's a lady who dancing right in the field, million views, multi-million views. But is there a formula for movie making now, or do we have to click like how things were? Like Mithun Das movies had a certain style, and multiple movies will happen on the same style.
Correct.
So do you think there will be a formula for this given 2025 and onwards?
I'll be honest, the audience is the nicest people in the world when they like your film. If they don't like your film, God save you. If you look at the history of films, Sholay has worked, Disco Dancer has worked, हम आपके हैं कौन, दिलवाले दुल्हनिया ले जाएंगे, टू अब बजरंगी भाईजान, लगान, रंग दे बसंती, हर जॉनर में पिक्चर ब्लॉकबस्टर होती है. But because of the story, we need to focus on stories that we believe in. There is no template in creativity. Film is एक ख्याल है ना एक राइटर का. तो अगर हम ये सोचेंगे ये फॉर्मूला है, वो कभी नहीं हो सकता. Films have to come from the heart. There is no formula for a good सक्सेसफुल फिल्म का फॉर्मूला तो पता नहीं. गुड फिल्म फिर भी एक यू कैन टेल कि हाँ एक स्क्रीन प्ले स्ट्रक्चर होता है, उस पर बन सकता है.
So you're striving toward also making sensible cinema, looking at the present trends?
I hope so.
No, because सोच तो होती है ना, like you are at a time where probably there's sudden shift of things happening also.
Shift आ गया and you have to adapt with the time. I have had a rule I tell Mr. Vijay Upadhyay, who is my manager, and he's also like my father, कि remake कोई लाएगा तो मुझे सुनना भी नहीं है. Even if it's the biggest filmmaker, if it's a remake, let's not meet that person.
अच्छा.
Because जब इतना failure आ रहा है with stars who are remaking films, it will be a blunder to do another remake.
But then there are exceptions like movies like which was that the Ajay Devgan movie which has been copied from the Malayalam movie. Uska
Drishyam.
Drishyam. There are exceptions like that also. Uska remake.
But see, the fact of the matter is Drishyam, Singham and Shaitan, the three biggest hit of Ajay Sir's careers are remakes.
That's what I'm saying.
So Bollywood has no credit on that. But the fact is, three exceptions cannot equal to the kind of failures we are seeing now.
It's on the storyteller also, no? How
The
well is
storyteller,
convinced.
the subject matter, all of it matters.
Thank you so much, and this is Namoshi for us. It's been an honor and a pleasure sitting across with him, and such a young talent. I would see him as something, a person of the future. Bless you.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you. That wraps up our conversation with Namashi Chakraborty. We hope you enjoyed listening to his journey and experiences in the entertainment industry. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast for engaging conversations and interview with talented individuals. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch up you in the next episode. Look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.